They were newlyweds, embarking on a cross-country journey to celebrate their honeymoon. Sarah and John, filled with love and excitement, saw this trip as the perfect start to their new life together. Little did they know, their dream journey would soon turn into a nightmarish ordeal. The car approaches a sign that reads, "Welcome to Whispering Pines." As the sun dipped below the horizon, they approached the small town of Whispering Pines. With its quaint charm and quiet streets, it seemed like an ideal place to rest for the night. After hours of driving, the allure of a peaceful town was irresistible. The idea of a warm meal and a comfortable bed was exactly what they needed. Whispering Pines seemed to offer just that, with its cozy atmosphere and old-fashioned appeal. The car drives into the town, which looks quaint but eerily deserted. As they drove through the silent streets, an uneasy feeling began to settle in. The town was almost too quiet, the kind of quiet that whispers secrets and hides unseen dangers. They pull up to a small, old-fashioned diner with a flickering neon sign that reads, "Mabel's Diner." Drawn by the warm glow of a neon sign, they decided to stop at Mabel's Diner for dinner. The promise of a home-cooked meal was too good to pass up. They enter the diner, which has a few locals sitting at the counter, all watching them intently. Inside, the diner was a throwback to simpler times. The few locals present greeted them with unnervingly prolonged stares, their eyes filled with a strange mix of curiosity and something darker. The couple sits at a booth by the window, browsing the menu. Taking their seats, Sarah and John perused the menu. It was filled with peculiar dishes, each named with a local flair that seemed to hide a deeper, more sinister meaning. Food is served, and the couple starts eating, noticing something strange about the taste. Despite the odd names, they decided to try the special. But as they took their first bites, a peculiar taste lingered on their tongues, unlike anything they had ever experienced before. The couple finishes their meal and gets up to pay. Sarah's curiosity was piqued by a door marked "Employees Only." A nagging sense of unease urged her to find out what lay behind it. Unable to resist, they pushed the door open and stepped into a dark, cold room, the freezer. The chill in the air was nothing compared to the horror that awaited them inside. The couple's eyes widened in terror as they realized the truth. What they discovered made their blood run cold. The freezer was stocked with neatly packaged meat, each labeled with a name and date. The horrifying realization struck them: these were human remains. Suddenly, the door creaks open, and the diner owner, Mabel, appears. Mabel stood in the doorway, her warm, welcoming smile now replaced by a cold, calculating gaze. They were trapped. The couple darts past Mabel, rushing towards the front door. The locals react, trying to block their path. In a desperate bid for freedom, they pushed past Mabel and ran for the exit. The locals, now revealed as willing participants in this gruesome operation, moved to block their escape. They make it to their car, fumbling with the keys, and manage to start it just as the locals reach them. With adrenaline fueling their frantic movements, they reached their car just in time. The engine roared to life, and they sped away, the angry cries of the townsfolk fading into the distance. The car speeds down the dark highway, both of them breathing heavily, looking back to make sure they aren't being followed. Driving through the night, they couldn't shake the horror of what they'd uncovered. The serene town of Whispering Pines was a facade, hiding a dark and grisly secret. They had narrowly escaped, but the memory of that night would haunt them forever. Mabel stood in the diner doorway, watching them disappear into the night. Sometimes, the most charming places hide the darkest secrets. Sarah and John had learned this the hard way. Their honeymoon had turned into a fight for survival, and Whispering Pines was a place they would never forget. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more chilling tales. Until next time, stay safe and beware of the darkness.